Today, we're jumping right into a really foundational concept from something aimed at parents. This crucial need for a safe space to learn and grow.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? The core idea here seems to be that, well, maybe the biggest barrier to kids really learning deeply isn't how hard the subject is.
It's the fear,
Exactly. It's the fear of messing up, of looking silly, of being judged. The text suggests that deep learning actually needs the freedom to make mistakes.
which feels a bit upside down compared to, a lot of traditional classrooms where mistakes might get penalized or at least feel risky.
Right. That source material argues that this fear, this sort of social risk, is the real obstacle. Kids might be spending, I don't know, maybe a third of their mental energy just trying to look like they know what they're doing.
Wow, 30, 40%.
Yeah.
That's huge, just on impression management instead of actually learning.
It's a massive hidden drain.
Okay, so if the problem is that fear, that judgment, what's the solution proposed in the text? It talks about a safe-to-fail sandbox.
Yeah, a private space. And the key thing, the mechanism that apparently makes it safe, is confidentiality.
Ah, so it explicitly says that.
Yes, the text states all interactions are confidential between your child and their AI account. That's the guarantee. It removes the audience, basically, takes away the social threat.
So it's like, okay, imagine a flight simulator, but for algebra or something. A place where, crashing is part of the learning, maybe even expected, but it doesn't matter in the real world.
That's a great analogy, yeah. It creates what researchers like Amy Edmondson call psychological safety, when you don't have that fear of negative consequences hanging over you.
You can actually focus on the task itself.
Exactly. Your brain power goes towards understanding the material, not towards, protecting your ego. You can ask those stupid questions.
Let's be honest, they're often the most important questions, right? The ones that get to the fundamentals.
Absolutely. The ones people are often too embarrassed to ask in front of others.
But hold on, does it address accountability? If it's so safe, how does a child learn to actually, well, face their mistakes? Does that make sense?
It does, and that's where the privacy part is clever. The argument is if you remove the external punishment, the social penalty,
Mm-hmm.
you actually maximize what you might call internal diagnostic honesty. The kid is more likely to be honest with themselves about what they don't understand.
Ah, I see. So there's no reason to pretend you get it if nobody's watching. You can admit, okay, I am completely lost on this chemistry concept, but only to yourself. Or, the AI.
Precisely, and that self-awareness, that honest look at where am I stuck, is what fuels real learning. You can't fix a problem you won't admit exists.
Right. The text even makes a pretty bold claim about mistakes, doesn't it?
It does. It basically says if a learner isn't making mistakes, they're likely not pushing themselves hard enough. They're staying in their comfort zone.
So mistakes aren't just okay, they're necessary for stretching yourself.
Necessary for optimal learning, yes. You need that struggle, that sort of productive friction. But the key is that the friction should be intellectual about the ideas, not emotional or social friction about being judged.
Okay, so this safe space concept leads to a couple of key outcomes, according to the text. First one is resilience.
Yeah, building that ability to try something, fail, get feedback, even if it's just from the system, and immediately try again without shutting down.
Like learning to ride a bike. You fall, you get back on.
Kind of, yeah. And the second outcome is encouraging that intellectual risk-taking, meaning being willing to try out an idea or a problem-solving approach, even if you're not sure it's right. That's often how those aha moments happen, how concepts really click into place rather than just being memorized rules.
And they could do that without feeling self-conscious.
Yes.
Because it's private. They can keep clarifying, keep trying, until it genuinely makes sense.
Right. It's about building understanding from the ground up on a solid foundation, not just performing for others. So for you, the parent, the takeaway here isn't just about getting some tech tool. It's about fostering a specific kind of learning, one that builds knowledge that's robust, resilient, because it was forged through this safe, private, maybe even difficult, high-friction process.
Deeper understanding over just looking good.
Exactly.
Which does leave you with a rather pointed thought, doesn't it? If this freedom to fail privately, this confidentiality, is so critical for accelerating deep understanding and building resilience, well, what does that suggest about the inherent limitations of learning environments that are public, where judgment is always a factor, where kids often feel they have to manage how they look before they can even tackle the material? Makes you think.